Happy blissful day to you. So I really enjoyed this call with Mo because Mo is a man just like me, and he had a few challenges with his SP, and there's been a lot of anxiety that he's actually experiencing. And as you guys know, any guy or man that watches this, you know that we've been taught to suppress our feelings. And you know the old saying, boys don't cry. And so we were actually brought up, most of us were brought up not to actually sit with our feelings, to become aware of our feelings. We were taught to run away from it, to distract ourselves. And you know, when you do that, it's gonna come back. And when it comes back, it's gonna hit you so hard. So this one was actually absolutely powerful because I get to like break down and just share with Mo how to deal with undesirable emotions, and not just how we've been taught by distracting ourselves or run away, but to really become aware and just to sit. So do enjoy this one. And if you're interested in free coaching, click on the link below. If you're interested in private coaching, click the link below as well. So I hope you enjoy this one. Happy blissful day, Mo, and welcome. So yeah, so we just had a little bit of hiccups, but we're good to go now. So you were saying, if you could just repeat again what you said with regards to how I can help you in today's session.
So growing up, I had a problem with feeling worthy of love, and I was really anxious for when it comes to love. I have had a problem with other aspects in my life, but I've somewhat worked on them. But there is something about love specifically that I'm still working on right now. At first, I didn't feel worthy of love, and every time I fell in love, or let's say, yeah, someone, yeah, someone catch my eye, I somehow somewhat became attached to them or extremely anxious for when it comes to them. Like if I sit next to them, I become really anxious. I must do this, I must do that, and I do be thinking of them literally 24/7. Uh, I've worked on my self-concept with meditations and with affirmations. At first, it was yeah, pretty annoying, but I somehow walked through the annoyance of it, and it became a habit, and now I really enjoy it. The thing is, I do shift a little bit right now. I do be thinking, okay, the 3D circumstances do not matter. The 3D is just a reflection. So I am not seeking a 3D validation. I only validate myself. I'm already living in the end. That's 1 hour. Another hour, I do be thinking of my SP, and I do be thinking sometimes of them a lot, like a lot. I do some visualizations, as you said in your story when you talked about manifesting Kylie, like watching the sunset with her. I do something like that, but I do get anxious sometimes, not necessarily because of thinking of the SP, but sometimes in general, and it does spiral back to the SP. Now, when I meet my SP is my colleague at work. We have an 8 years gap. She's 8 years older than me. She's 8 years older than me. She's a graduate. I'm still studying in the university. Uh, at first when we met, I was like, okay, this girl is shy. This girl is quiet and distant from everyone, literally. Okay, I won't bother her. After some observation for a few months, I've noticed that we have plenty of similarities, as in common values and common thinking. And aside from us both being somewhat quiet, where we can disagree on that with each other. So now I think that no, I don't think. I fell in love with her, and I do know that she's the one. But the thing is that now when I think of her, I either think of her in somewhat an anxious way, not a desperate way, but an anxious way. And sometimes, most of the times, I catch myself right at almost instantaneously at that moment, and go back to the state of wish fulfilled, or the end state, or the end state. So yeah, that's it. And when we meet, for example, when we meet in the transport, I do see her, for example, sitting not right next to me, but rather not right next to someone random, either her friend or somebody or another stranger. Okay, first it was triggering. Now I do be like, okay, the 3D does not matter. But even though I've got it good at this place, for example, at other places, like we don't talk much, and we don't meet a lot. It's quite random. Okay, there's no coincidences. I trust in the unseen somewhat. But sometimes I get anxious for when it comes to her. Like, am I going to meet her right now? Is she going to text me? Sometimes I jump to the end state, and sometimes I spiral a little bit. Even though I know that my spiraling won't affect unless I give it the power. There I go back to my self-concept. I have had moments in my life where I was pursued, and I know how it feels. And at first I was chasing my SP right now, my SP the first few months I got to know her. But now I don't chase her a lot, not a lot. I don't even chase her anymore, but she is still on my mind, and I do get anxious sometimes about what to say, what to talk about with her. She's silent, and I'm also somewhat silent, and we mainly talk only about work. And she has apparently she does not like to express herself as in trust and becoming vulnerable with other people. I've I've took a step I've took the first step and showed her a part of me being vulnerable with her, telling her about something unfortunate that happened in my childhood that's still affecting me right now. The thing is, how do I get rid of my anxiety? And yeah, how do I get rid of my anxiety when it comes to this? And how do I uh, stay in this end state? I still jump back every time I think of the 3D or something like that. I still jump back to the end state, but how do I remain at it? Now the 3D does not make me anxious, but not a lot, but only in these parts about meeting the SP. My heart becomes starts beating faster, and I get anxious thoughts, and sometimes I spiral, sometimes I do not. Add to that I consume a lot of the law teachings every day, a lot. Some days I go like, okay, there's no need to consume any more content, as I already know everything, as I've been in this community for 7 years, or most of the things, and I do know how to manifest, and I've manifested plenty of things in my life. In XSP, I had chest was not interested in me. After I started chasing her in like 3 to 5 months, she showed signs of attraction towards me. So yeah, it's when you do not put your desire on the pedestal, and that's where every time I get anxious, I go back to my self-concept. I do not always feel like I am being pursued, like the feeling that I used to get when I was pursued by others. But now I'm feeling okay. It's neutral. The universe will work it out. I trust in the unseen. Sometimes I start questioning, but even though I question, I come back to trusting the unseen eventually. But the SP, yeah, I do be thinking of her a lot. So that's the thing.
Right, sure. Yeah, so first of all, you mentioned that you've, studied for 7 years, and it sounds like you actually, are putting in the work. And what I mean by that is like, doing the inner work and really like, applying, the stuff, as well. But I'm just gonna remind you, and of course you already know, it's just this call is just basically just to remind you that you are already perfect, whole, and complete, because you are the God of your reality, having a human experience, right? So if you think about your true identity, your awareness, that power that is within you, whatever you want to call it, that's already perfect, whole, and complete. But then you're having a human experience, and now most of our human experience has been conditioned by society, our family, religion, and etc. Right? So when we now try to manifest the important things that we place importance to. So if we've experienced anything maybe in our past that is related to this, it can create stumbling blocks or limiting beliefs or resistance and whatever, like, and stuff like that, right? So in your case, you want to manifest, this SP, but you always seem to feel, anxious when you think about her, when you're with her, and and stuff like that, right? So I want to ask you, like, have you experienced something similar? Um, because you did mention that you had an SP in the past and you felt pursued. Um, so in other words, you did not feel, that feeling, this anxiety that you're feeling right now, correct? So
Yeah,
it was okay. You didn't. Is this like
because I observed the XSP.
Okay? Is this the first time that you actually feeling like this in a relationship? Hi, Mo, are you still there?
Hello? Yeah,
Hi,
I'm
Mo.
still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Your video is lagging for me, but I can hear you.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. Like yeah, you also
Yep.
keep on freezing and stuff like that. But yeah, so you mentioned that this is the first time that you kind of, experience this in a relationship, correct?
Can you elaborate further? What do you mean by this inner relationship?
Oh, like when it comes to you trying to manifest an SP, I just want to actually ascertain to see if this is a pattern in your life, because if it is a pattern, then all you need to do is just release this, belief, because you have likely just assigned a meaning in the past to this a similar situation, and that's why it's now coming up and causing anxiety and resistance in your life. So my question is, has this happened to you in the past?
Yes, it happens a lot of times when I was manifesting before. It happened a lot of times. Yeah, because growing up, I didn't receive the love that a child should receive from his family and society. Now I've worked on it because feeling that I'm enough. Okay, I'm doing self-love affirmations, and I do feel love towards myself fully and unconditionally. But it still comes up from time to time. I'm still on repeating the affirmations, and hopefully it will change in the future. That's what I think.
Yeah, for sure. So like I um kind of had something similar in my life as well, where I also did not feel love, growing up, because I grew up with my granny and my mom was there and she wasn't there. So I felt more love from my granny than for my mom. So I didn't understand what, love was, at the time. So, so the meaning that I had, of love at the time was, I was like confused. I didn't know, what was happening. And it's only when I actually, took time to go back to that experience and to actually tell myself that, of course, my mom, loved me, my granny loved me. It's just I actually placed a meaning at that time, thinking that, oh, I was not loved by my mom, but she actually did, love me. But and when I actually did that, I felt the love that my mom always tried to actually, give to me. And so our relationship is now, getting better, every day. But that what that actually did, to me as well, is that it helped me to accept, myself, and to open myself to love. And that was my first journey and experience of, self-love. What is self-love? Self-love is just, accepting yourself for who you are right now. You accept yourself for who you are right now. You accept your body, you accept your mind, you accept your human experience, who you are. Because when you do accept yourself, for who you are, you're no longer going to judge yourself or try to compare yourself, with other people as well. But however, if there are some stuff that happened in the past, you want to go back in the past and change the meaning, or like what Neville Goddard says, just, revise it. I know some past experiences for some people is obviously can be very challenging, can be very traumatic, also, and stuff like that. That's why what you want to do is you want to ask your God self for help, your imagination. So when you do it, you want to ask for help and say, hey, I need help with this, that, and the other. And this is what we're going to do. So this is what we do with our clients. Some of them that had experiences like that, we actually guide them in imagination to resolve, those issues. And when you do that, then your human experience now becomes whole, because you've actually went back, in past, and just did what you had to do, whether that's forgiving, whether that's reconciling, and you do all this in imagination. You don't have to physically do it. You do this all in imagination, because there is no time in imagination. And when you use your imagination now to go in the past, you are actually going to change the meaning and the experience of what happened, which is beautiful, because the reality that you experience right now, it's just a projection. So if you go back to the past will also now, change as well, because you're changing the mirror of the past, and that's going to make you also in turn, change, as well. And so why am I telling you this? Because so often, especially when you like deep into Neville, you're studying all these things, and you learn that you are God. It's so easy just to forget the human experience and just to like repeat, yes, I'm God, I'm God, I'm God, I'm God. Yes, you are God, but you're having a human experience. So you have your God self and you have your human self. And if you do not take care of your human self and attend to your human self, and what I mean by that is, if you are trying to manifest any desire and your human self is showing you roadblocks, limiting beliefs, anxieties, resistance, whatever the case may be, if you do not take time to actually become aware of that, also to kind of try to find its origin as well, it's going to continuously show up in your life. Why will it continuously show up in your life? Is because you're running away from it, right? And you're running away from it, and you're running away from it from the place of, no, I'm God, I'm God, I'm God. But that's actually you not, solving the whatever happened, in the past. So to answer or to give you advice rather, is just to, take time, go back and release what needs to be released, forgive what needs to be forgiven. And once you've done with that, and how you know you're done with that is if you actually feel at peace with the situation. Once you've done with that, and then you will then see that when you try to manifest, your SP now, and if the feeling of anxiety, comes up, just become aware of the feeling, right? You could become aware of the feeling, and you can communicate with that, feeling, and say, what do you want from me? What do I need to learn from this experience, right? So you communicate, with that, and by you actually communicate with that, feeling and an experience, you will feel empowered because you are no longer running away from it, or just using affirmations to get rid of it, or using meditations to get rid of it. You're actually confronting it now, and you're like, hey, what's happening here? And by you actually confronting it, it will start dissipating. And when it starts dissipating, you're going to feel lighter. And the more you do that, you're going to feel lighter and lighter and lighter. And you then releasing, all these things that no longer are serving you, because you are now on a new, trajectory in your life, the mode 2.0. And you will start seeing that your manifestation journey will become so much joyful, and easier, because you are no longer running away from, the past and stuff like that, right? And so there is a version of you right now that is in a loving, blissful relationship with this SP. And when I say loving, blissful relationship, I mean like you guys are really deep in love. You are just having the time of your life, just like in the movies, all that good stuff. That version actually exists, right now. But now, the reason why some people cannot experience that is because of the roadblocks that you've actually accepted, whether in the past or right now, that kind of is preventing you from moving forward. So you are almost like, standing in your own way without you even realizing. And you're doing all these techniques, you're doing all these methods, and you're wondering, why isn't it happening? And when you do the techniques, yes, you feel good at that moment, but then later on, the 3D reminds you of that, and you feel a certain way, and then boom, you're back to square one. And it's just a continuous, cycle that always shows up because you did not make time to actually go back and, resolve those past limiting beliefs, or whatever you want to call that. Are you with me so far?
Yes, true.
Yeah. And so can you share with me like a few past success, stories that you had with manifestations? Just maybe like one or two.
Yeah, sure thing. I've manifested when I was a teenager. I've manifested increasing my salary by 150%. Yeah, I was thinking about 100%. It will have manifested as 150%. I manifest when I was focusing on myself without having an SP in mind, like affirming and believing and feeling that I am a catch, I'm magnetic, etc. I do feel like so, and I do attract people with that. Literally everywhere I go, I do be attracting people. What else? I've manifested succeeding this year in university, even though I had a situation going on that didn't allow me to study, and I succeeded. It's somewhat of a miracle because I failed at 6 subjects in the first semester, and in the second semester I already had 8. So I needed to succeed in 4 to pass to the second year. I needed to fail at max 4 subjects to become a second year, a sophomore at university. Yeah, I managed to do that. Yeah, it was pretty easy, even though I didn't study. And at the tests and exams, I always affirmed to myself and believed that okay, whatever happens, happens. I'm succeeding no matter what, and I ended up succeeding. I manifested an SP first. When I started with the manifesting SPs, I manifested one, even though I was thinking of her all the time. We didn't. We were in no contact for like 7 months, and we never met. We didn't see each other in these 7 months because she was traveling. I had a belief back then that she was the one, and I was extremely persistent, even though she was on my mind 24/7. I did imaginary acts and some imaginary acts, and I persisted with zero disbelief, with zero negative stories. And she ended up manifesting, but I self-sabotaged and didn't get that manifestation. An affirmation tape that I have been listening to in the past 3 months about self-concept and manifesting and love. Had an affirmation that says I turn heads everywhere I go, and everyone misses me and contacts me, etc. Now when I walk in the street, literally everyone, like, it's so scary, literally everyone turns their heads towards me, and they'll be looking like, oh, what's wrong, what's up, why is everyone looking at me? And I do remember this affirmation, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, if this manifested, then the others definitely manifested, as it is both for self-love, self-concept, and for SP love. I do be thinking like that. I do be affirming that I'm contacted, and everyone misses me and pursues me and thinks of me, etc. And I do receive a message, a call from a friend of mine that I barely meet, telling me that he misses me a lot, and that he wants to meet with me. Those affirmations about being missed, they are specifically for a specific person, and my friend is not the specific person that I was intending for him to feel that, but I saw it as a sign. Yeah, I saw it as a sign. And when I was listening to this self-concept tape and affirming self-concept and self-love affirmations and self-worth affirmations, not necessarily feeling it, but sometimes feeling it, and sometimes do be robotic affirming it robotically, in a robotic way. Sometimes it does manifest. For example, yesterday when I was listening to the tape, I was a little bit anxious, but suddenly for some reason I felt the anxiety dissipated, and I suddenly felt that I'm the one being pursued, and that I'm on the pedestal. And while listening
let me ask you a question, Mo. Let me ask you a question. When you become anxious, what do you do? Can you take me through an experience? Let's just say if you are anxious right now, what do you do?
If I am outside of my home, I do affirm self-concept affirmations and self-love affirmations, and do affirm that I'm stable, I'm secure, I'm calm, I'm relaxed, everything's working out in my favor, I am in control, and I do put a mask on to calm my breathing. I sometimes do EFT tapping, and sometimes while doing these, I do order one big order of food to distract my mind. And in-house,
Yes,
I do.
to interject. Yeah, no, that's very good. That's very good. You know, the things that you do, and then just lastly, you mentioned, like, you do some other stuff to distract your mind, right? So the reason why I asked you that is because I was in a similar, situation as well. When anxiety hit me as well, I would do all these things, meditation, affirmations was the one for me. Affirmations, when it comes, I would never actually take time to confront it or to face it. So in other words, when I'm feeling anxious, I would never actually take time to become aware of it, to sit with it, to be with it right now. Because remember, especially we as men, we were taught not to cry, not to feel our feelings, our emotions, not to, because, our uncles, fathers, bigger brothers always said, no, you're a big boy. Big boys don't cry, and all these things, right? So we were taught to always run away from our feelings and our emotions. And now, when you actually do take time to become aware when you are anxious, that awareness, which is your true self, your true identity, which is infinite and limitless, is now going to put you in a power of, in a position of power. And the anxiety will now see that, oh, you are in control. You are the operant power. What will then happen is you will actually feel you become lighter without you having to do any affirmations and meditation. And that's obviously all good and well, but when you take time to actually face it for what it is, you will actually take your power back. And then afterwards, you can then do your affirmations, but you won't even feel like doing affirmations because you will feel so empowered because you are God of your reality. What that means is your reality is your body, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, and the 3D as well. You are the God. So it's like almost like you playing this game, and the game is your body, it's your mind, and it's the 3D. So you get to control it. So if there's any feelings or emotions that's undesirable, you can actually see it for what it is. You don't have to run away by using affirmations, meditations. No, you face it for what it is. And what will happen is you will feel lighter, and you will continue to actually feel lighter until you get back to your true identity, which is God of your reality, which is perfect, whole, and complete. Because you will then soon realize that all these beliefs, conditioning, and stories that society has been telling us actually made up your self-concept. And that's not really who you are, because who you are is infinite and limitless, having a human experience. You with me? So my suggestion to you is to really take time to actually face it. Don't be scared, don't be afraid, because you are God. You actually have created the anxiety in your mind. Now you can use the same power that you've created in your mind to actually face it and release it. Use the exact same power that you've done, so you don't have to be afraid of it. And when you've released the anxiety, then you can then accept that you are now the person who has your desire. What does that mean? You are now a loving boyfriend. Now, a loving boyfriend implies that you have a loving girlfriend and that you are in a loving relationship. And now you actually live from that new identity. So you ask yourself, okay, now that I am a loving boyfriend, how do I think? How do I feel? How do I act? How do I relate to other people? How do I see the world? How do I go to sleep at night? How do I wake up? Who is this loving boyfriend? Who is this person? So that is what you have to accept. And what do I mean by accept? When it's your birthday today and you're the new age, you accept that you are now that new age. You don't go back to the old age and say, no, I'm still the old age. No, you accept. You're like, yeah, it's my birthday today. Happy birthday to me. And you accept it just like that. So that's how you accept your new identity as well, your new self-concept. And when you live from that new identity, you are now one with your desire. So your desire is no longer outside of you. It's now inside of you, because now you're no longer seeing a gap between your desire and yourself. You're like, oh, okay, I am now the person who has my desire. And that's why Neville Goddard's quote is so powerful when he says that when you change your conception of yourself, your entire world will change automatically. Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. So your SP is just telling you who you are, right? And when you revalue yourself, they will confirm the change. And all of a sudden, your SP is now in love with you as well, because you have now changed your self-concept, and you also have, revalued, yourself as well. You with me? So
I get a little bit emotional.
Yeah. So the homework that I want to give you is like really become aware and ask yourself who are you being now, and what is your current self-talk? What is your current inner conversations? Do you see yourself as separate from your desires? Are you still the single mole? Who are you? Just become aware of who are you, and then you want to be then clear in actually, what it is, you want. What do you actually want? Do you want to be married mode? Do you want to be loving a boyfriend mode? Do you want to be what do you want to be? And really become clear. And once you're clear, you then accept that you are now that new desire. And when you have accepted that new desire, you now live from it, and how you live from that is, as I said, when it's your birthday, you are now grateful that you are the new age. So you kind of live in gratitude for a year because it's your new age, and when you take that approach, your manifestation journey will be much easier, less anxious, less fear, and it will actually remind you of how powerful you are, because you are the god of your reality, creating your reality on a daily basis. Of course, we work, with our clients. Like if you do need help, we can obviously, work with you for 5 weeks, where all these things that I just mentioned to you is actually, as in a systematic, order, step by step, where we work with you on a daily basis. And and when you basically just do exactly, and as we say, your life will change. But however, you can take the advice that I've given you as well and apply that. You will definitely also see results in your life as well, which is because you are powerful. You are the operant power. You are God of your reality. So that's just me reminding you of how powerful you are.
Amen.
Do you have any questions?
Not at all. Grateful that I've had someone to talk to about this stuff.
Yeah.
You really opened my eyes. Even though some of the information I knew before, but I had to talk directly with someone that knows what I would be going through or thinking, and understands where I'm coming from, and to guide me directly. Despite if there is anything new or not, there is definitely some stuff that I've got to learn today that are new. But it's quite beautiful. Now I feel peace for some reason. I feel peace.
That's amazing. I'm glad. I'm glad you got a nice, breakthrough there. And that's the reason for these calls, so that you can have experience that breakthrough, and you can remember who you are and how powerful you are, and not to actually forget, because we all forget. And that's why we have to daily remember, who we are, and really take your power back, and just accept that you are now the person who already has, your desires. You don't have to try. You don't have to do this, that, and the other. You just have to accept that it's already a done deal. That's it. So yeah, no, you're welcome. So you got this. As I said, that just we're gonna send you a recording of this as well. Just rewatch it, apply everything we say, and you will definitely see the results in your life. No doubt, you will see. And I'm already seeing you as the loving boyfriend in a loving, blissful relationship, because of course you deserve that, right? You deserve that. So I'm already seeing that, because I know that consciousness is the only reality. So whatever I say and whatever I see and whatever I feel is a done deal. I don't have to do anything else after that. It's a done deal. So, having said that, congrats on your loving, blissful relationship. And
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome. Awesome stuff. You're welcome. So I'll chat to you soon. And thanks for your time, eh?
Thanks for your time.
Okay, cheers, Mel. See you.
Cheers. Thank you. See you later.
Okay, guys. So there you have it. That was another awesome, powerful free coaching session. If you are interested in free coaching, just click the link below and you can get in touch with us and you can book a session. And if you are interested in working with us one-on-one, you can also click the link below as well. And we are happy to actually assist you, to work with you one-on-one, and to take you to the next level. And most importantly, to take you to the version of yourself who now has your desires, because you are not separate from your desire. You are actually one with your desire. And when you accept you are one with your desire, it is no longer a desire, because you are now the person who has it or who are it. Isn't it wonderful? Awesome stuff. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, keep smiling and enjoy your blissful day.